Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I will be talking about the entirety of EYES of Wakanda. Alright, so around 2 weeks ago, Marvel graced us with yet another project this year, and this time it was EYES of Wakanda, a limited event series, an anthology series about stuff with the Wakandans and Wakandan artifacts that happens in the past, going from all the way from the Trojan time periods to right around 500 years in the future /ish, I don't know. If you haven't seen the show before, or if you haven't seen it yet, please go watch that show first and then come back, because I will talk about some spoilers in this video to get my entire grip on the series. And let's get it out first and foremost. I liked it for what it was, but I also feel very disappointed with this one. And I have a feeling that most of my disappointment doesn't have anything to do with the show itself, but mostly everything happening behind the show. Mostly corporate greed and Disney going and being there behind it. And let's just talk about the positives first. I love how Marvel keeps doing these different styles of animation that never stay and stick to the same thing. They did something else for Spider-Man, they did something else for X-Men 97, and they did something else again for What If, of course. And I love that they try different kinds of animation, and I love that they do different things with it. And the animation looked beautiful. It wasn't as gripping as I hoped it would be. For me personally, it wasn't the thing that I loved the most about animation. It wasn't the most beautiful animation in my opinion, but it still was very beautiful to see, and it was very accurate to what the show represents, which is something I deeply love. They are rooted in their nature, and I loved that. I also love the characters, and I also love the artifacts, and I also loved half of the stories that they were able to tell within the runtime that they had. There's just a thing with the show that is continuously bothering me, and it bothered me with Echo, it bothered me with other shows, and it's still bothering me. And right now it gets too far, and they are going to do it again with Marvel Zombies coming in September 24th. And it's that 4-episode format, like just a splinter of episodes, like a splinter of what we can get. And that's the entire show. Like, every show needs a build-up of a few episodes, 1 or 2 episodes, and then they can start to get good when people are used to what you are doing. But right when you are up to the point where you get used to what you are doing with the show just ends. It happened with Echo, it happened with this one, it's going to happen with Marvel Zombies, I presume. And it's just that that 4-episode format is just really killing what the shows can be. Like, right when you get used to the show, like right when you are completely into what they are doing, like the 3rd and 4th episode are by far the best, because they can do a lot more because you are used to the format. And then it just stops, and that's really annoying, and I have felt that multiple times already, and I feel like 80 episodes is the bare minimum for what you should do. Like, I also had it a bit with Ironheart. Right when it got to being more interesting, it stopped, or they had to rush some of these things to get the story out, and it felt like this happens for the same exact reason. We have these 4 artifacts that they scramble in each episode, which is the gimmick of the show, which is nice. I liked it in the 1st episode. I really didn't like the 2nd episode that much with the Trojan horse thing. I thought that was a bit too much in things that happened for real instead of just doing something else entirely. It felt, I don't know, I wasn't a big fan of it. 3rd episode got better with the Iron Fist, because there was a lot of Marvel stuff happening in there, and then the 4th episode kind of lost me again because of the time travel stuff that they did, and having yet another time travel rule now. Above all the time travel things that they have already established in this universe, we now have something else on top of that. Right now we have 3 kinds of time travel, I think. The time travel they did in Avengers Endgame, the time travel that they are doing in Loki and stuff like that, and the time travel they are doing right now. It's bothering me. I loved what they did with the last episode, because that was by far the most interesting out of all 4 of those, but I didn't like what direction they were going for with that one, so that was something else that bothered me with it. And yet again, I have to say that I do think the show is fairly good, and I do think the show is fairly interesting in what it tried to do, but I just wanted to have a bit more of it, because I felt like whenever I started to understand what they were going for, and when I started to understand these characters and where they're coming from, even though we've seen it countless times before in the 2 Black Panther movies and in the legacy of Black Panther in the Avengers films and stuff like that, it still felt like having this time with other characters, but only having compromised to half an hour each, scattered across different time periods, never coming together, never doing anything with it apart from a little bit of connection in that last episode. It feels empty and it feels unneeded and unnecessary, and it's kind of sad to see that, because it's Wakanda. We always love Wakanda. It's produced by Ryan Coogler. It's people getting a chance to do some anthology things with the Wakandans, which is something that is always nice. But because of the 4-episode format, because of how rushed everything feels, it just feels unearned, and it didn't make me hyped for another episode when it came out. Or they all released at the same day. I watched 2 of them in the same day, then watched episode 3 a week after, and then it took me like 1.5 weeks to get to the 4th episode, because I was just not hyped for that, and I watched other things instead. And for a Marvel show not making me hyped, that's saying something. So yes, the show is kind of good, but it also felt unnecessary, unneeded, and maybe in some ways even unearned. What did you think of this show? Please let me know in the comments down below. As it is the whole show that we just watched, I decided to give this one a 6 out of 10, low 6, mostly a 5 out of 10. It was just not something I was hoping it was going to be, and I wanted a bit more of it. What we got was good enough, but not enough to get me hyped or get me extremely happy with what I got, as it was just too short for me to care for it. What did you think of EYES of Wakanda? Please let me know in the comments down below, because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching, and I would like to see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye bye.